Hi everyone, and welcome to our vlog. My name is Patricia Garcia. I'm the owner and financial advisor here at Your Vision Financial. Today we have a special guest, Henry Wong. He's a renowned real estate agent from Remax. Henry will share with us today some insights around the value that he gives his clients. And the particular topic we're going to be drilling into today is downsizing. So as a financial advisor, I know that it's essential to consider the value of financial advice during this process, but also to work closely with someone like Henry so that we get the best outcome for our clients. Before we get started, I just need to remind you that today, all the information we're providing is general advice only and doesn't take into account any of your personal financial circumstances. So please make sure you seek professional advice and don't act on anything we're talking about today. So Henry, welcome.
Yeah, thanks heaps, Patricia, and I love the fact that you have these disclaimers, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we work in a very in a highly compliant industry, so I need to make sure that I do that first up. And I know you're very busy and you're always on the road. Thank you for making time with us today to record this vlog.
That's okay.
So Henry, tell us, when you're working with clients who are downsizing, how do you typically approach understanding their goals and requirements in terms of selling their current home?
So generally when I approach clients who are downsizing, in fact, that's actually the majority of my clients, I try to get, first of all, what's their destination? Are they going to go to a retirement village, independent living, going to a smaller home, closer to one of their kids? Because at the end of the day, they need to have a destination, right? Mm-hmm. And then from that destination, then we work out a timeline. So I actually start talking to people, could be a year, 2 years, even a few years before they're ready to make the move. Because sometimes they could have their name down in a retirement village, but they can't move until there's a vacancy. This could be a couple of months or a year or 2 years. And then once we outline that, then the next step is basically I have a look at their home. And so whenever I go to someone's home, I identify who the likely buyers are. So a buyer could be a young family, could be an investor. It could be because of a particular layout, it may suit a multi-generational family. So we're trying to create and present the property to suit the ideal buyers who will pay the most for this property. So the key is, how do you identify the unique aspects of a home that your home has that other homes don't? And you will attract buyers that specifically want those aspects. That's how you actually, create a great price. But not just that, apart from identifying the ideal buyers, you present it really well to attract those ideal buyers. The third thing is you need to have a network. So it's basically what we do. We bring a lot of interstate and overseas buyers to introduce to your home, in addition to the local buyers. So unfortunately, the majority of agents in Australia only deal with local buyers, which means your pool of buyers is quite limited. So there are more people that don't know about your suburb than those that do. So when you create more competition, then you squeeze them together, and then that's how you get a very good outcome.
Well, it sounds like the perfect job for you, Henry. I know you're the master networker, so that's going to be, a great value add that you give to your clients, because I know you know everybody. So thanks for that, Henry. Now, obviously, downsizing can be a really emotional process for some people. We're recently seeing a lot of our clients downsizing, actually. For a number of reasons. But one of the things that comes up a lot is how difficult it is and how big of an emotional roller coaster it is for them. They might have lived in their home for many years, right? So from a financial advice standpoint, we need to make sure we're giving them guidance, and there's a lot of things to consider. So I would strongly recommend, if you are planning on downsizing, make sure you get financial advice before you actually put your house on the market, just because there's a number of things that we need to do to line up, all the ducks to make sure we don't miss anything and we can implement the right strategy for you. But as a real estate agent, Henry, how do you collaborate with other professionals to provide a more comprehensive service to your clients?
So when you're downsizing, so obviously I also get the children involved, because sometimes the parents, the kids want to come in and want to be involved in the whole process. The key is to get the family involved in the whole process. And then I also want to see what else do they need help with in the transition for them to downsize. If they go, oh look, Henry, I'm not sure if I sell, like how long do I have to buy the next place? I might actually lose my pension. So I'll tell them, look, Dora, you need to talk to Patricia. This is a Patricia question, right? About your pension or what have you not. Oh, I don't know how much I can put into the super after I downsize, well, what should I do? Again, that is a Patricia question. So apart from financial planning, obviously connected those with a what do you call the building and pest inspectors, but also sometimes they may also want to gift things to children, or they might want to go, hey, after I downsize, I need to update a few other changes in my life, because apart from downsizing, I want to sell one of my businesses as well. I'm retiring from my business, so I also connect them with estate lawyers as well, because they're also involved in the whole process as well. And anyone else that they want to be connected with, I just connect the dots.
Very good. Yeah, we also work very closely with estate planning solicitors. So it's good to see that you do that as well, Henry. And like you said, there's so many questions that need to be answered, right? What are the implications from a Centrelink perspective? Should they put money into super or not? What are the rules? There is a downsizer contribution, but there's also other contributions like non-concessional contributions. So there's a lot to consider as part of that. The other thing that I've found with our clients that usually helps in getting us involved early on is looking at potential strategies depending on the amount of money that they may get for their home, and then depending on the amount of money they might spend on the new home. So we can also help them make informed decisions around that, so that they can ensure that their financial future is secured. And then, if they want to gift money to children, or if they want to downsize by 500,000 or 200,000, or sometimes downsizing actually becomes upgrading. So the funny thing is the downsizer contribution doesn't necessarily mean you have to downsize. It just means you're selling a principal place of residence that you've lived in for over 10 years and a few other rules, but it can actually upgrade. So we also help clients around those decisions as well. So as you can see, it's a bit of a Pandora's box with lots of things to uncover.
Yeah.
What I was going to just lead into, Henry, was, from your perspective, what tips do you have to ensure a successful and smooth selling process for your clients?
Basically, preparation. So you want to talk to an agent as early as beforehand, but also make sure the agent has the right contacts for you. So obviously talk to your financial planner, your accountant as well, because sometimes, people want to sell their home, but there could be a period where they've rented out the house for the last 5 years. Now, then you got to ask the accountant, what are the capital gains implications, if there is any, as well. So basically just to prepare, where you're going to move to. That's the first thing. The second thing is, you want to identify who the ideal buyers are for your home. And the third thing is, how do we present the property to suit those ideal buyers? And then how do we bring in buyers from outside the local area to compete with the local buyers to pay more money for your home? Now that one, you actually need someone that actually has a network. So, if you live in Ascot, the issue is it only works on realestate.com and domain if the buyers are typing the word Ascot. Now, if I'm coming from Hong Kong, I have never heard of Ascot. I can't find your home, but I have the money to pay for your home. I just want to buy within 10 kilometers to CBD, but I can't find your home. So you need someone else like myself to introduce that Hong Kong buyer to your house, which adds to the pool of competition.
That's right. That's right. So usually it's always, who you know, not what you know. The saying usually goes. So, network is very important in this process. So, Henry, what else would you like to share with us today? Any market updates or any other final sort of tips that you want to share with our listeners?
Yeah, so what I've noticed is that for a lot of our downsizers, they're generally conservatives, but they're also, a lot of things they've gone through their life is actually who they know. So by getting professionals that you trust or an agent with a network, they can make things happen very fast, whether it's to tidy up your home, a cleaner, a financial planner like yourself, Patricia, an accountant. So they'll move things fast because of their word. Because usually when I refer people, they move very fast. So I just say, look, Patricia, who do you need? He's like, Henry, look, I need to talk to an accountant. Look, talk to Simon Burke. Just mention Henry Wong. said that I should talk to you. So Henry Wong equals open sesame. So it will happen. So basically, these downsizers, it's very important their word is their bond, because that's how they were raised. And, you know, I operate the same way. So that's very, very important.
Thanks, Henry. And do you have some stats to share with us around, I think, your target market, or you work a lot with people buying, you know, cash without bank involvement of the bank. So did you want to talk us through that before we wrap up?
The majority of our sales, probably right now, is around about 90% of our sales, whether it's Brisbane or Gold Coast. The houses that we sell, it's actually cash unconditional. So as in, the buyer that ended up buying has no conditions on the contract itself. What that means is that a buyer can actually pay a lot more. Now, if your home in Ascot is worth $2.2 million, right, and the buyer signs a contract at 2.5 million, and the buyer has to borrow 70%, you have a problem. There's a 300K gap, and the bank won't lend the money. But if a buyer pays 2.5 million and doesn't borrow from the bank, the value is not involved. It goes through. So the more money that you want, it can't be subject to finance.
Okay, some good tips, Henry. So thanks for your valuable insights today. Your expertise as a real estate agent really complements the benefits of working with other professionals like financial advisors, accountants, and solicitors. And I know together we can guide our clients towards, you know, a successful downsizing and fulfilling retirement. So thanks again for joining us today. We hope you found this information informative. And remember that it's all general in nature, and individual circumstances may vary, and we encourage you to seek personal financial advice before acting on anything we discussed today. Thanks again, and we hope you enjoyed this vlog.